What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we have a pretty major announcement for Modern Warfare itself from Activision and Infinity Ward regarding supply drops and the in-game economy for the game. We have had supply drops in Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare. They have been a pretty universally hated decision, pretty much, it would seem, at least from the community, but for a community that hates them so much, it's odd that Activision makes billions of dollars a year off of them. Anyway, regarding that, we have an announcement from both of them. And this is, I think, the first time that Activision themselves has come out on an announcement like this, which I think gives this a little bit more validity than a lot of the other announcements that have come out, because it is true that we've had these kinds of announcements in the past. I mean, let's be honest, like every year in Call of Duty, they're like, oh, the supply drops in the game, you know, they're going to be cosmetic only, or, you know, the supply drops in the game, there's not going to be any weapons in them, things like that. Like, you know, there's been sly lies, basically, about supply drops in Call of Duty for a long time, but generally speaking, those have kind of come from the developers themselves in, like, sly tweets. Like, they kind of weirdly word them, I would say. Like, they kind of sneak the real meaning in the actual wording. Like, they have, like, a surface value, like, where if you read it and you're not paying attention, it's like, oh, the supply drops actually will be cosmetic only at launch. But when you actually look at it and you read it and you critically think about it for a second, it's like, oh, the supply drops will be cosmetic at launch, which means three months in the game, the weapons will be in the cosmetic supply drops. You know what I'm saying? But this is basically, I would say, the first time that Activision themselves has come out on one of these announcements, which, honestly, it's huge for this announcement, because I think that if any year is really the year where they're actually going to make this change, it's going to be this year. I'll go a little bit more in-depth about it in this video, talk about my reasoning and everything, but to give you guys a little bit more context about this announcement, the announcement came out today from Activision and Infinity Ward in an official blog post. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of information from the blog right here. So, of course, to replace that loot box system that makes them a bunch of money, they are bringing in a new system. Well, quote-unquote new system. We did kind of see this system in Black Ops 4. Personally, I don't think it was implemented all that well. It definitely could have been added upon. It definitely could have been done better. That would be a Battle Pass system. This is something that we already see in Call of Duty Mobile. It's actually working out, I would say, pretty well in Call of Duty Mobile. I think the rewards are actually pretty good in that game. I think that the premium version of it compared to the free version of it, there's a good balance between the two. So I think the way that they've kind of experimented with that maybe kind of builds up towards Modern Warfare in a way. They're kind of getting prepared. Maybe that was kind of foreshadowing, not necessarily sure. They also say that all functional content that has an impact on the game balance, such as the base weapons, attachments, etc., can all be unlocked simply by playing the game. Now, I am going to add on to this point, this does not address DLC weapons in any way, and this is where I begin to get extremely skeptical about this entire thing. They make this announcement, we know that there's going to be DLC weapons, let's be honest, it's one of the biggest parts of Call of Duty post-launch is the fact that they're bringing in DLC weapons. The Modern Warfare universe has some of the best weapons in the entire franchise. In reality, we know they're going to be bringing in some insane weapons for the DLC lineup. We know it's going to happen, and they did not address this whatsoever. The functional in-game items, such as the base weapons, can be unlocked by playing the game. What about the DLC weapons? How are we going to get those? These are the things that they should have been addressing in this post. I want to know how we're going to get DLC weapons. Are they going to be in the Battle Pass? Will they be unlockable through challenges? Will they be directly purchasable? What's going to be the outcome for people when it comes to that? And that's where I start to get skeptical, because this kind of stuff is not directly addressed in this post. Now, the new Battle Pass system will allow players to see the content that they're earning or buying. The Battle Passes will launch timed to new post-launch live seasons so that you can unlock cool new Modern Warfare themed content that matches each season. These are essentially just operations from Black Ops 4. Every couple weeks they are going to launch a new season with new, you know, equipment, things like that you can actually unlock. Camos, all kinds of different stuff, probably a lot of filler content as well, I would assume, but, you know, it's all going to be there as well. The big upgrade with this compared to Black Ops 4 is that, well, in Black Ops 4, a lot of the content with each new operation, it was locked behind the supply drops. I mean, In reality, most of the content with the new operations was locked behind the supply drops. I mean, you got, 100 levels or whatever of new content with some of the operations, but then there was also 300 items for the new operations that was locked behind the supply drops, and let's be honest, 80% of it was just filler. It was stickers, it was emotes that people didn't use, it was duplicate camos for weapons, things like that. So, well, at least in this game, if this could be trusted, of course, you're gonna have the opportunity to see what you're gonna be getting. You're not gonna have to worry about the RNG aspect of the loot box getting you that camo you want. When they introduce the new camos into the game, apparently it's all going to be right there in the battle passes for you to just play for and unlock. So if that's to be trusted, definitely a massive upgrade, and it's something that obviously Call of Duty fans have been begging for, well, at least half a decade now. About half a decade now, so. With the new Battle Pass system, players will be able to earn COD points by playing the game, obviously taking a little bit of inspiration kind of from the V-Bucks thing with Fortnite, where you can earn, V-Bucks by playing through the Battle Pass. Obviously, there's going to be another in-game store with cosmetic content and stuff, just like Black Ops 4, at least I would assume so, based on what the post is going to say later, and plus you can always save up your COD points, and I would assume you can use it to buy the Battle Pass. Then again, knowing Activision, maybe you can't, let's be honest, maybe you can't use the COD points to buy the Battle Pass, you have to actually buy it with cash, who knows. Of course, there's going to be a free and premium stream of content in the Battle Pass system. New base weapons will be earned through the gameplay. Once again, not addressing the DLC weapons in any way, but of course, you don't have to buy the Battle Pass to get new content. There will be a free stream of it, so you can, of course, just buy the game and, of course, earn new free content just by playing after launch. Keep in mind that all of the post-launch maps, aka the DLC and stuff, will also be free. The Battle Pass and the in-game store will feature a variety of cosmetic content that does not impact the game's balance. This is something we should have assumed. They're going to be selling, the camos, the outfits, the things like that, and I don't really mind all that stuff, man. As long as it's not $20 for a skin, I personally don't mind it. I mean, we're playing a AAA game, 60 bucks. Don't charge us 20 bucks for a skin and I'm pretty good with it, but I see a $2 camo that I enjoy, I will buy a $2 camo that I enjoy. This is something that I've said time and time again. Now, something that is important to note is that the Battle Pass will not be launching on day one. So October 25th, just in a few days when the game launches, we will not have the Battle Pass. And I think this adds up a lot with some of the leaks that came out from the gaming revolution. He talked about how Infinity Ward and Activision had all these late last minute meetings and stuff regarding the supply drops and how a lot of important progress was made and whatnot. Is it possible that during these meetings, Infinity Ward actually pushed Activision to kind of shut all this down and to put in this Battle Pass, and that's why it's not coming day one, because they had to get it, ready and to work on it and whatnot and to get supply drops out of the game, because we did see supply drops during the alpha. They were in the game. Is it possible that they were taken out of the game for this Battle Pass last minute because Infinity Ward stepped up to the plate on behalf of the community? Who really knows? All I can say is that if this is to be trusted, if Activision's word can be taken at face value, this is a massive change. That's, this, I would say, was the biggest problem with the game. If we get rid of supply drops and we get a decently fair microtransaction system in this game, I don't really think there's much that can be in the way of this game. Personally speaking, I think already that gameplay-wise, this is probably going to be one of, if not the best Call of Duties since Black Ops 2. I actually enjoyed the beta. I thought that it had a lot of ups. Of course, it had some downs, but I think all the potential that was there was good enough to show me that this game could be the best Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. Now, with a fair microtransaction system that can actually not chase me out of the game 3 months in, this would be huge. This would be huge for this game, and this is something that I think Activision should have realized, years ago. And I am skeptical about all this because, of course, these kinds of things have been said in the past by developers very slyly and, of course, turned right back on. But the thing about it is that Activision has never really came out and said this, and the thing is, they actually now open themselves up to lawsuits when it comes down to it, because if they turn around and do put supply drops in the game now, and they actually do turn around and basically, spit on their own word, they have basically false advertised this game. And I can almost guarantee that you would see false advertisement lawsuits in that case, because they've never came out and straight up guaranteed something like this before. They've kind of insinuated it, or they very slyly said it, or they couldn't legally be held accountable, but they've never came out and said it like this. This is the most official they've ever said it, and I really hope that they keep their word on it because this could be huge for Call of Duty. On top of that, with all the controversy going on with supply drops in the last couple years, you know, a lot of countries are trying to make them like illegal. A lot of countries are, you know, taking legal action. The US is trying to ban them in E for Everyone games. There's been like some legislation about that. Obviously, Call of Duty is not an E for Everyone game, but the writing has been on the wall kind of for loot boxes in the last couple years. Like, I would say here in a couple years, loot boxes probably won't even exist. Like battle passes, they're kind of like the new microtransaction system anyway. It's an extremely profitable system. It can be more profitable than loot boxes. It's way less controversial, it's just as easy to implement, and at the end of the day, Call of Duty fans would definitely recommend that. You know what I'm saying? So this could definitely be huge. I would love to wait and see, you know, take the wait and see approach, but for now, hopefully they actually stick to this. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel. Follow me over on Twitter at SubToptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, I guess hopefully not having to worry about supply drops, and signing out.